Me too. Welcome back, first and foremost. Just when you think about getting back out on this mound, being off Tommy John surgery, it's been a long time. How are you feeling in this moment, and when did you find just was kind of the turning point for you when it came to your recovery from that surgery?
Yeah, I'm excited to get back out there. I think I was here for a live BP a month and a half ago or so, and I took a moment then to appreciate being back at Dodger Stadium. But it's going to be a lot different tonight. Getting back out there in a competitive game with a full atmosphere. So really excited about that, and I feel like probably the past 2 weeks or so really took a good turn in my rehab. Started bouncing back even better, pitching more like myself, feeling more like myself. So really just happy to carry that over into these games and see how the second half treats us.
You talk about kind of feeling more like yourself. Do you think that with kind of the elbow surgery, have you found you've kind of had to reestablish some things, or do you feel like things have felt kind of pre-surgery when you've been at your peak?
I would say more so recently I have felt closer to my pre-surgery self, but the rehab schedule itself kind of allows for some things to occur throughout the program. It's a lot of throws. So you do a couple things wrong one or two times, then it starts to snowball a little bit. So we had a little bit of work to do while I was on my rehab assignment, getting myself back into my mechanics, but super subtle things were really easy for me to control, but also still keep the focus on getting guys out when I was out there in games.
Where were you velo-wise?
I would say mostly 95, 97, a few 98s, so very happy with that. I wasn't really sure what to expect when it came to velocity, but I feel like it's in a good spot.
When you say more like yourself, is it more of a feel thing?
Yeah, just execution. When my mechanics are in line, my release point's consistent. I feel like I can do a lot of different things with the ball, so my last 4 or 5 outings down there with OKC, I really felt refined in that way.
Does it feel like a long time?
Sorry?
Does it feel like a long time that you're out?
Yes, but it's been chopped up pretty good. I was been telling everybody I kind of was unable to do stuff for a long time, and then we had the postseason chase keeping me distracted, and then the off season was interesting, free agency, all that. My wife was pregnant, and then our daughter was born in spring training, so it's been pretty chopped up, and it has helped it go by quicker. Does that make sense?
So once you're 25, you're working to come back from injury first before you got hurt. Does it sort of feel like it's been a while since you had a really extended run up here, games?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's been, really since the end of 2024, right? Since I've had a full workload. But it still doesn't feel too far removed, if that makes sense, especially coming off of this rehab assignment where I was down there for pretty much a month on the tee, so got in quite a few games down there and felt like I was getting sharp, so I feel like I'm ready to go.
I mean, you can play countless rehab games in the minor leagues, but it's impossible to replicate a big league experience. How much are you looking forward to pitching again in the big leagues?
Yeah, I think throughout those final stages of rehab, that's the one thing you can't simulate. No matter how hard you try, you can't simulate the mental capacity this takes, the schedule, the workload, the competition is way different. So there's nothing else left for me to do but jump right back into it. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
Do you feel ready for your back-to-backs, or do you feel like you might need to ease into that a little bit?
No, I mean, I did back-to-backs down there with OKC, 2 out of 3s, up, down. So I've kind of checked all the boxes. Now we'll see. It'll be up to Doc and his staff as to how they want to manage it. But physically, I'm ready to do whatever's asked.
Throughout the rehab process, did you kind of think about this day a lot, or did you have to put it out of your mind and kind of be patient?
No, and what's strange is everyone's saying, congratulations, welcome back. But I guess I'm just been so distracted and caught up in the work side of it. I don't know if it'll actually hit me. Maybe, hopefully not until I'm walking off the mound tonight or whatever day it happens. But try not to let the emotions get in the way of it too much. Just excited to be working again. I mean, I told you guys before, this is what I love to do. So having that taken away for so long, just excited to be being able to do it again, for sure.
You're going to have everyone here? Sort of portray that was
Yeah, my wife, 2 kids will be here, some close friends, and then just all the guys here and their families as well. It's been different being away from the group, for sure. So happy to be a part of this again and be a good teammate, hopefully contribute as a pitcher as well.
Evan, what would you say you learned about yourself in the time that you've been away recovering?
It's challenging. Rehab is very challenging. It was my first long-term rehab stint of any kind, so just the ups and downs that come with the physical part of it, the mental side. I think it's credit to myself to stick with the process and leaning a lot of my family and the teammates here. I was very appreciative to spend my rehab here last year after the injury. I think that helped my mindset stay focused as well. So just ready for this next step.
When you're in rehab, obviously, a lot of it's just kind of getting physically right, getting the mechanics right, like you said. now you kind of have to go out there like and compete. Have you kind of flipped that switch already, or is that something you think that's going to have come in gradually?
Yeah, I think that's something we tried to somewhat build into the rehab assignment. You know, the first half of it, first 5 games or so, just go focus on the physical side, recover, you know, go make your pitches, get to your pitch count, whatever it is. But the second half of it, me personally, I really try to step up the execution and competition side of things. That way, hopefully it's not the first time I'm doing it, you know, here in a major league game.
Were you expecting to be down in Oklahoma that long? Or
I didn't really, we had a schedule somewhat laid out, but I wouldn't say it was, you know, finite in that way. It wasn't, you know, firm. So there was some, you know, fluidity to the timeline, but I understood every time they said, hey, you're going to go, you know, 2 out of 3 this week and then back to back. So whatever they came at me with, I was understanding of, and ultimately just I don't think whether it was late June, early July, late July, I think physically was the most important thing. Just wanted to get ready to go.
Were you there long enough to get like a favorite restaurant?
I don't really know if I had a favorite restaurant. There's a few places I tried that I liked, yeah. But are you an Oklahoma City native or anything?
I am not. No, just years ago, like Carl Crawford got stuck down there for like a month.
Is that right?
And he started complaining, and he's like, I guess he used to go to Durant's all the time.
No, I don't know that one.
I guess I'm not sure it's still there. I don't know. He doesn't play there.
Not with Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Yeah. Might not be that.
I asked him if he ever met him, and he's like, no, but I thought I did. I saw his face on the wall every day. So.
When you've considered just when you're coming back from this major surgery, once you get past the rehabbing portion, once you feel kind of more like yourself, did you work with anything with your pitch mix? Did you make any adjustments, any pitch grip adjustments? Was that something that you were working towards, or was that more of just me focus on the rehabbing and kind of getting back to where I used to be?
Well, keeping the main mix was definitely the priority, but you know, across the months of rehab, we had an opportunity to try a few different things, whether it's, you know, grips on how I throw my fastball, or, you know, toying around with like locating certain pitches, messed around with the changeup here and there, just to see if I could bring it back. Ultimately, that'll be up to, you know, Mark and the guys inside about what we actually deploy, but I feel like my primary mix is very sharp and ready to roll.
You don't have to worry about me, Muncie. I let down.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome back.